Good morning, everyone. Willie the Bam Johnson. This morning I started at 1:48. I'm really committed. We live in a country and in a world where the one thing that really registers in people's minds is the ability to be able to fight. At one time, even in our industry, we talked about taking out sparring in commercial martial arts schools. We can't do that. We can't afford to do that because sparring is the thing that truly defines character. Is the ability to be able to function under pressure through sparring, combative, safe elements that allow our children and our teenagers to really be able to deal with those forces, emotions, react and do negative things or have crazy outbursts. When you're in an arena, and we all know they come from traditional schools or schools back in the day, when you had to spar with the instructor or some student that was better than you in that dojo, you couldn't get mad. You just got beat up even more. You had to make the adjustments under pressure, and eventually you found the way to find some harmony, develop a friendship. He taught you some of his secret weapons, and you were able to come back and get a couple of good blows in, and he was able to get them back in on you, and vice versa. That was the journey. Even in the world of sports karate, I mean, I remember times traveling and, working out on the side with Jerry Prince, Tony Young, Keith Irabashi, sparring around with people at the events, asking questions, just really watching, the incredible level of kata and fighting competition back then. And back then, remember, you had to win your division, but then you were all put in, regardless of your weight class, to go up for the overall grand championship. I still remember a time in Kentucky seeing Tony Young beat Billy Blanks when everybody, no, ain't no way a super lightweight going to be the heavyweight, but it was an honor for me to be a part of that. I guess I came up being like one who knew his place. As a rookie on the circuit, I knew that I needed to sit back and really take notes and really listen and learn from what the great ones were doing, like the Nasty Andersons, the Billy Blanks, the Linda Denleys, the Miyazakis. The list goes on and on. I am so appreciative of those opportunities. And we know that during that time was to compete, win, to be rated in the top 10, to make the cover of the magazine, to possibly get a movie role. It led to bigger and better things, to get a book contract, to do seminars, there were so many things that you were able to branch out, and so it was those things, they really amounted to a lot for all of us back then. And then, of course, in the 80s, we started seeing more money being issued through Budweiser, Toki Hill, Chuck Merman, Trench Oil, Karate Team, all those things. But when the money started becoming an issue, I was one of those competitors who my life was dedicated to competing and training and trying to take care of my family through sports karate. So when there was no money to win, how was I going to feed my family? Those were those dynamics that made a kid like me that was coming up in a bad environment choose, like, hold up, man, I want to do this, but how am I going to be able to get some food on the table? What am I going to do? So you had to, you fell victim to the streets. You did your little hustle. So it wasn't always just that I was a kid who just said, hey, I just want to commit a crime, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. No. I wanted my mom out of that sloppy situation. I wanted her to stop being suppressed. I thought the sport would feed me and give me a chance to break away and make a better life for my mom. But there was a lot of sacrifices because there was no money. There was a $500 here and a little bit here. Being a father at a young age, I had to make the best of a sloppy situation. So I know that when I got in a situation to be able to mature and be blessed to come back to the arts and to the sport, I wanted to make things better. Point MMA is an opportunity for us to find a way to get the sponsors, if it's possible, to get them to match the prize money so we can at least reward more cash prizes to our competitors. If the money's not there, come on now. I was a competitor going to a tournament and looking at it and saying, hold up, man, he ain't give no money. It ain't like it was the Diamond Nationals where you got an 8th place ribbon and it was well worth the trip of being on the bus for 3 days, or the the Battle of Atlanta, Kentucky, but a small tournament getting $100, $200. Come on, man, let's be real. Especially somebody traveling from one place to another. And what is that going to always keep you on stage and some guy, you know, because he want to like stage his own tournaments. He staged some tournament and call it a world championship. And I mean, you got students, you know, going out competing against okay competition. Come on, what happened to the Warriors? What happened to going in a fighting division? I remember great Henry Grant of Baltimore going to the Battle of the Dojos up there in Jamaica, Queens, New York, with Master Fred Hamilton, God bless his soul, and seeing the guys fight from the ground. I mean, New York was like it. You wanted to prove your fighting prowesses, man. Come to New York. Ray McCullough and Nasty and all those guys come to New York and fighting down to the win with, you know, Kevin Thompson and so forth. I remember going up to the Empire State, Master Greg Turney, you know, driving all the way up to his tournament. It was worth it, man, and getting a second place. You can't, you know, we can't, like, just because we want to make a profit, ability for the student to grow under pressure. So, I mean, from my own opinion, that's the reason why people are drawn to the UFC. Because, like, hold up, man, it's real. When you done watered down the challenge for the individual student, it's almost like me coming up in my school and just training against my own classmates or sparring against my own people. No, go out there, man, experience the world. But at the same time, yes, the promoter got to make sure that he's concerned with the ripple effect of bad judging, bad character, you know, all those things that have went on in events and do go on in events at some. He got to be concerned with that and how it's going to affect that school owner that brings his students to the school. And then when he goes back to the school, he's hearing about it from Monday all the way through, and possibly losing students. Students that have been signed up with him for a long time. I mean, he's losing a real precious person, a real good student, one that has real great potential, and at the same time, he's affecting this guy's bread and butter. So we all got to find a happy medium. Point MMA is our opportunity to give back, not just as a promoter, someone who loves martial arts, because I love the whole element. I love watching MMA, man. Do I really want my kids to do it? Even my older son, do I really want him to do it? No, not at that level, but to at least be able to play around with it. Everybody played with basketball, played with football. We all did it in our day and age coming up. Even in the inner city, you was on Little League baseball team. There was always someone that came in, like in Baltimore, Little Italy, you know, coming in and starting a baseball league, football league, whatever it may be, to give the kids some hope and some direction. You know, that's what Point MMA, that's the goal for Point MMA. To be able to build the champions like the Raymond Daniels, I mean, you know, the Marco Johnsons, the great ones that are out there, giving them guys a chance to be able to become the champions and the models of the sport, and allow them to be able to profit from their endeavors, and even showing them how to take those opportunities and go off into movies, or go off into writing, or go off into school ownership, or building a clothing line or something. Showing them how to expand their own brand. First, helping them to realize that they do have a brand. And it's the brand of the promoter as well as the competitor that brings strength to our sport. Those are the things that Point MMA is trying to bring back. And me and my wife, as competitors, you know, we know what it was like, you know, with not getting the cash awards or getting some cash, and, you know, trying to make the bills from what we had won, or at least to be able to work with individuals that are trying to do that. Point MMA will never be involved with any event that's not giving away cash awards for the fighters, and not giving an opportunity for everyone to grow in a safe, fun, and friendly manner. We can't be disrespectful to the competitors. The competitors are like, it's like you running a school. They are your customers. You don't treat a customer disrespectfully. You treat them with respect and honor. And it's a privilege for them to come out and support you. And in return, it's a privilege for me to keep showing up to that place that I'm shopping at, because I like the way they treat me. And with respect, I'm going to give it right back to them and wish for the best for their business. That's the same thing the competitors have to do for the promoters and for the circuit. And those that have went on, they should be coming back, giving back to the sport. Sports karate is alive and well. And yes, 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 fighting is very, very important. As much as we believe in the art of fighting without fighting, it's the heart of the art. Ability to be able to adapt and to grow that allows me to be able to continue to evolve. We don't quit. We don't stop practicing martial arts. Never, ever. You don't take a break from it. And as an athlete, you find a way to evolve and becoming a coach, a teacher, or something like that. You don't just stop and give it up. That's the reason why the sports karate brand has continued to That's the reason why sports karate has not went beyond what it used to be. It's about pushing and selling and promoting the sports karate lifestyle with everybody from past, present, and preparing the future for a better opportunity, an opportunity to grow. I love it. It saved my life, and it saved many other people's lives. We are here with Point MMA to contribute and give back to the sports karate legacy. Me and my wife are there uniting with everyone that's interested in doing this and working together to expand the whole spectrum of sports karate. Challenging aspect of MMA, as well as full contact karate, boxing, just do kata. There's enough room for everyone to feed their desires. Point MMA is just a safer way to work on that skill set and give the spectator and the grandma and the family an opportunity to enjoy that element with their kids and to prepare our kids to be able to deal with it, because it's like coming up in the city. There was always a guy who was a great wrestler, and where I learned how to do martial arts at, I always tell you, it's one of the most famous wrestling facilities of all times. In the state of Maryland, McKim's always had the best wrestling teams. And most of the drug dealers that I ended up hanging out with and doing bad stuff with, they all learned how to wrestle at McKim's. While I was doing karate on one side, the wrestling team was on the other side. While I was doing gymnastics, the wrestling team was on the other side. And we all got together. The wrestlers did gymnastics, I did gymnastics, the boxers, same thing. It all was a part of the environment, man. So it's nothing new, and all of it benefits us. MMA, are you technically ready? MMA, are you technically ready? MMA, are you technically ready?